first one, you
Sure.
provided the idea that it was important to understand Gülen's early childhood, how his family construct work, the town where he grew up, and the sort of influences and the schools he attended and so on. What struck you that existed in Gülen's childhood that would make him the person that he's come to be, and the scholar, and also one of the thought leaders of our time?
Yeah.
And I remember we had an opportunity to catch up with Gülen the first time in 2017, and again I had a second opportunity in 2019. The thing that impressed me more than anything else was the man reminded us constantly that he didn't want to tell people how to do anything. He just wanted them to think for themselves, and he also wanted them to do that service component, which is so much a part of his bit. Is that how you saw it?
Absolutely. And when I imagine him as a small child, again, obviously I wasn't there, but from what I have read and from what I've come to understand, because some of the people whom I interviewed for this book have known him since he was a child, they're his contemporaries, is someone who is clearly very intellectually precocious, but also, if I can put it this way, someone spiritually precocious. I kind of think, as a parallel figure, of St. Catherine of Siena, who felt that she wanted to be a monastic from the age of 4 or 5. And her father, the story is, went looking for her one day because she had sort of disappeared, and he saw her sitting by this fountain. He saw a dove on her head. And in Christian art, the dove is the symbol of the Holy Spirit. As he approached her, suddenly the dove, it didn't take off, it just disappeared. Dissolved. So that's when he realized that her inclinations were where she needed to go. It was truly a calling, a vocation, from the Latin vox, voice, to really be called. My sense of Fethullah Gülen is similar, that he felt this spiritual calling, although it wasn't to be a monastic necessarily, and it wasn't yet directed, but at an early age, he had already become, by the age of 9, 10, 11, what's called a hafiz. He memorized the entirety of the Quran, but he was also aware of hadith and all of these lives of the dozens and dozens of Muslim saints through history, and his parents and his grandparents on both sides had that kind of reputation for extreme piety. So he's precocious both in terms of spirituality and in terms of intellectuality. So both of those features he became and how he's inspired others to become what they've become.
So the family, you can sense, imbued him with some of it too.
Yeah. The one thing, in fact, that the family wanted of him, that his parents wanted of him, and you can guess, which he ended up not doing, was, of course, that he would get married. And he said, Mom, I cannot, because the things that I have to do, I won't be a good husband, I won't be a good father, and I don't want to do that.
Such was his commitment.
Right.
To understanding
Yeah.
the job at hand.
Yes, exactly.